Usually around this time of year, I think many will be aware that there is the odd snake sighting as the animals slowly emerge from hibernation. Well, with temperatures having been in the 30s this week, the snakes are out and about, and the number of sightings is up apparently fourfold. From the Mornington Peninsula, we're talking to snake catcher Barry Goldsmith. Hello, Barry.
Hello, Glenn. How are you?
Look, very well, thank you. How are you going? Busy?
Yeah, fairly busy. We're getting call-outs every day sort of thing, but it's pretty much normal for this time of year, I think.
I was going to say, what is a normal year for you, Barry, particularly as we're heading in towards November as far as the snakes are concerned?
Normal's a funny word, actually, because we've just come out of the drought. We've had 10 years of drought, and that was very busy during that. And over the last few years, we've experienced a lot of rain. So snakes have got a lot of cover. They hide under grass, and so people aren't really seeing them as much as they would normally be because the grass is so long.
Yeah. Now, you're licensed by the government to relocate snakes. Is that
right,
correct?
Yeah.
What does that involve? Where do you relocate them to?
Well, legally on my licence, it says that I have to release the snakes within 5 k's of where I catch them. That's to keep the genetic information intact. So they don't like to mix the localities. So if I catch a snake in Dandenong, I wouldn't be able to release it in Portsea because it's too far away.
Okay.
So that has to be within the 5 k's.
So generally, where are you finding snakes at the moment?
Well, my area is here on the Mornington Peninsula, but I have been down to Caulfield and Elwood and places like that. But mainly when I go into those residential areas closer to town, there. The snakes are escape pets. Like some people lose their python or something, it gets out and then it ends up in somebody's house. Or it could be a hitchhiker coming down from up north or coming down in a crate of bananas or something like that too.
Okay, where are you finding them? Mainly in the garden? Do any get into houses?
Sometimes they get brought into houses by cats, and sometimes they can make their way into a house on the trail of a mouse or a rat. But it's rare. More often than not, it's in a garage or in a woodshed or a hay shed or something like that.
The limited knowledge I have of snakes, Barry, we do have some deadly ones here, and particularly here in Victoria. The brown snake is one which shouldn't be laughed at by any means, should it?
A brown snake is the most dangerous snake in Australia, simply because it likes to live close to people, and its main food is rats and mice, and they're not scared as much, or they're more defensive than a copperhead or a tiger snake. They do stand up, but generally their reputation is overrated. Much like a tiger snake's reputation, they would much prefer to go their own way. If they are given an avenue of escape, they will take that as opposed to attacking anybody or trying to bite anybody.
Yeah. What about things like pets and dogs and all that sort of thing? Is there anything you can do? Because obviously if they corner a snake, the snake, one would have to suspect, will generally win, wouldn't it?
Well, it's usually a pretty fair match. I've been out to a few call-outs where the dog has died and has killed the snake in the process, so there has been a battle and both animals have died. The best way people can keep their dog safe is to train it as a puppy not to attack wildlife, and then not only will the wildlife be safe, but your dog is guaranteed never to get bitten by a snake, because the only time a dog gets bitten by a snake is when it attacks the snake. It's never the other way around, not here in Victoria. Also, you can use shade cloth and things like that to enclose a compound at your dog's area to keep the snakes out of that area. If your dog is going to attack blue tongues or possums or anything like that, obviously its days are going to be numbered if it comes across a tiger snake.
Yeah. What should we do if we happen to see a snake, whether it be in the backyard or in a park or something like that, Barry?
Right. If it's in your own backyard and there's kids and dogs and things like that around, you bring all the kids and dogs inside and you observe the snake. And if you want the snake removed, then you would call a snake catcher and get him to come out. And as you're watching the snake, you ring the snake catcher. A lot of people ring me maybe a day after they've seen the snake, and by that time it's too long.
Yeah.
It's too late.
Is there value, and I don't want to do you out of business by any means, Barry, but is there value in looking at it and saying, well, hang on, if one's there's got to be a couple of others, why don't I just kind of let it go back to where it came from?
Personally, I would prefer it if everybody let the snakes go back to if everybody left them alone, if I never had to get called out to a snake call, then that wouldn't worry me. That would be a good thing. The best thing people can do is to just watch it, be aware that they're there, and if you've got young kids, if they're old enough to be educated, you can use the sighting of the snake as an educational tool. You can kneel down with the kid and you can say, "This is a snake," and you can say, if ever you see one of these, you come and get me, you come and get Mum, or things like that. So I find it would be a privilege to have an animal in the backyard like that.
They don't scare you?
No, they don't scare me. But, I'm scared of horses and things like that. But, it's not like I'm fearless or anything. It's just that snakes don't scare me.
Well, why? You started playing around with them when you were young, or?
Yes, I don't think I can remember a time when I haven't been around some sort of critter of some sort, whether it be spiders or snakes or lizards or frogs. Or I was one of those weird little kids that used to disappear for hours into the creeks and the canals and just be checking out the wildlife.
Have you been bitten many times?
I've never been hospitalised by a snake. I've never been envenomated, but I do get bitten because we run the wildlife shelter. I do get bitten by animals all the time, and I've been bitten by some of the lesser venomous snakes, like the common small-eyed snakes and the white-lipped snakes that we get here on the peninsula. But no, never been in hospital from a snake bite.
Well, let's hope you don't either, too, from that point of view. Hey, Barry, appreciate your time. Have you got a phone number or anything if anyone does happen to see a snake?
If anybody happens to see a snake, or if they just want advice, they can ring me on 0408 0670 62.
62.
Or they can go to my website, which is snakecatchervictoria.com.au, and I've got a Facebook page too, which is Snakecatcher Victoria Australia.
All right, so snakecatchervictoria.com.au, or if you like, the phone number 0408 067062. Hey, Barry, thank you very much for your time, and really, we just need to be on our toes and keep our observation skills up high.
That's really it, and, if you're going to interact with the snake, the chances are that you are going to get bitten. If you're trying to catch the snake or if you're trying to kill the snake, that's when people get bitten. Just Google a snake catcher in your area if you see one, and they'll give you the right advice.
Sounds great. Thanks very much for your time, Barry, and have a good day.
Thank you, Glenn. I love your work.
Thank you. Barry Goldsmith there, snake catcher. That number, if you're in the Mornington Peninsula area, 0408 067 062, or if you like, snakecatchervictoria.com.au.